Welcome to another episode of Whose Review Matters Anyway, the podcast where the show notes are made up and the reviews don't matter, just like the DCEU.
Oh God, I was waiting for you to.
Oh my God, yes, I saw that news.
I was gonna rant about it, but I was like, somebody might.
Yeah, I want Sal to talk about it.
There's nothing to talk about. He fucked up big.
Yeah, just in case listeners, if you don't know what we're talking about, breaking news: Warner Brothers are going to move on from Ezra Miller, and he will no longer be part of any future Flash films or anything. So he no more Flash. So he was gone in a flash.
Wow. Wow.
I need to take a shower now.
Well, I feel like this movie, if it's supposed to be a flashpoint, it better fucking fix some things if it's like a true flashpoint.
Well, that's the point. But that's the thing, though. I was talking about this yesterday with my wife. There's no point in watching it.
It's possible they could fix some shit up with their universe with this.
There's nothing to fix with the DCEU.
This Flashpoint, he can literally change anything, and he could even fuck himself over in the movie.
In the movie, well, okay.
I don't know. Like, I don't understand what's wrong with this guy. Though.
You know what? I don't think there's anything wrong.
Well, he was.
I blame Hawaii.
He just hates Hawaiians. He just goes up to the faces like, "You Hawaiian? All right, and you a woman? All right."
Then he kidnapped the kid.
Or now, before the first two fights, now there's a missing maybe person or whatever. That almost happened to Sal when he was in Hawaii.
He deleted his Instagram. He's off the grid now.
Jesus, are you serious right now?
Yeah, you didn't see that part?
They can't track him down. He's off the grid.
That's
literally.
the newest shit about him.
So there's a possibility that they might just cancel the movie overall.
No, they're not.
No, the last thing I read was that Warner Brothers is supposedly holding out and hoping this whole thing, which I don't think it will, this whole thing like cools down before they decide to release the movie.
But imagine like he did kidnap a kid right now, right? And
but it wasn't a kid.
Hold up. On top of that, right? We don't even have to go on this any further. But on top of that, you got the whole Amber Heard situation too.
Yeah, that's not helping. Well, is she going to be an Aquaman too? I don't think she's going to be an Aquaman too.
The last thing, I don't know if it's legit or not because I didn't read the article, but I suppose they were going to recast and then redo shoots for Aquaman 2 with the new person in place.
Yeah, with Bruce Campbell. That's what I heard.
That's a good one.
I mean, I hope it's Emily Clark.
I don't even know who that is.
Oh, from Game of Thrones, the Mother of Dragons.
I believe you. Why not? All right, speaking of believing in people, we got two movies to talk about in this episode. We're doing a double feature because of Ham. Ham forced us to watch this other one. We're going to talk about Adam Sandler's Hustle, which is a Netflix exclusive.
I hustle my way to watch this movie.
Why are you bringing that up again? It was bad when you texted it. Now you're bringing it up on the episode?
Hey, everybody needs to know this joke, all right? Just let it happen.
And then after that, we'll talk about Lightyear, which is the new Pixar animated film from this past weekend. As a quick tangent, in case Ham doesn't even notice anything, but probably noticed it. If not, I lost my flash drive that has all of our like pictures and tracks for the music and stuff for this podcast, which is episode hasn't been published yet. I think I know where that flash drive is, but I haven't been able to pinpoint like its precise location. So just if you see two episodes pop up out of nowhere, there you go. That's why. Mike
it's so funny. Well, what the fuck? It's so funny that you mentioned I lost my flash drive and I just finished my flash thumb, but I just finished watching Mission Impossible 1 and like they were trying to retrieve a flash disc.
Oh, I thought you were going to go back to the flash joke.
I was waiting for everyone to do a flash joke. I'm like,
Oh, no. I ran out of jokes.
Good. All right. Speaking of no jokes here, because Adam Sandler does not come back for a comedy, this is another one of his serious takes. Like, what was the last one that we saw?
Uncut Gems.
And there's basketball in that, too.
What is it with basketball? He's that obsessed with basketball?
Yeah, he's a big basketball fan. And also, too, he's a Knicks fan. Just saying.
Okay, Knicks. Okay, got it.
He's a Knicks fan, but in this movie, he's a 76ers scouting recruiter.
Well, the only two people I know here are Adam Sandler and Queen Latifah. I don't religiously follow basketball, but I am quite aware that there is a
Hmm.
multitude of basketball players in this movie. I
Yeah.
would say actually the only two I do recognize is probably Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal for like the split cameo that they had there for a second. But that's pretty much it. I'm gonna read a synopsis. I don't think the person finished their synopsis. It says, after a down on his luck basketball scout discovers an extraordinary player abroad, he brings the phenom back without his team's approval. What's
That's fair.
but phenom, is that an actual word? Like, can you actually subject that? Like,
I think it's like phenom.
I don't know. I failed the English class.
Phenom.
I don't know. What was the last Adam Sandler thing that we all saw? I think that was
Herbie
Uncut Gems.
Halloween
Oh no. It was
After.
Huey and Halloween.
was after.
Was it?
I believe so.
Huey Halloween was the last thing I think we saw.
'Cause I saw Uncut Gems in theaters before pandemic, I believe.
Yeah,
Oh.
I saw it too.
So it was Huey Halloween.
Oh.
Yeah, Huey Halloween was the last thing. Yeah.
So you can only go down from there then.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he could go down any lower than that shit.
All right. Well, I liked Huey Halloween.
He
I think
did.
I think I gave it at least a yellow. I don't remember if I gave it a green, but
I gave it a green.
did.
Yeah.
I? All
I
right.
think I might.
It's the grappling hook that got me. The grappling hook. He's like, yeah. Okay. Hustle.
Give a shit, Bucky, Becky.
IMDb gives it a 7.4 out of 10.
Ooh.
Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 92%.
Whoa.
Oh, okay.
Now, Ham's a gambling man.
Yes.
And he wanted to place his bets on all of these games that he saw just recently, not just on the TV on the court, but also in this movie, because he knew no one else has watched this yet.
Yep.
And he won because 97% of his people like.
Oh.
So high ratings except for IMDb in general.
He betted on the Celtics. Too soon.
But did he really win? Or I mean, we don't really know the outcome of that
he also
game.
was talking about the actual NBA finals that happened.
That's
The
true.
Warriors won.
Sure, I believe the both of you. Okay, Hustle. We'll go around cards first and then backtrack what we liked or disliked about this movie. Starting with Mike, what card do you give Hustle?
Green card.
Ham?
Green.
I was gonna say, if you go any lower, you made us watch this, you asshole.
You asshole.
Green. Yeah, green.
Well, then who's the asshole now?
But so I
Hat trick.
think I was gonna enjoy. Well, I didn't think I was gonna hate it either. I just thought it was like another one of those like sports movies. Like, here's the typical trope of like, oh, someone that's down on his luck. He's got to find like the winning guy. Got to give the motivational speeches. He's probably got some like backstory or whatever. But this movie didn't really hit hard on a lot of those things. It really just focused on the relationship between the coach and the player and kind of like their actions together and less on what they actually had to say to each other. And I don't know if it's because of the way that it was written, but it felt very natural. And there wasn't a single moment where I was like, oh, that was too cheesy. Oh, that was really lame. Like, where are you going with this? Like, it actually got my interest from beginning to end, and I wasn't disappointed. I don't know if I can find really a single flaw except I think what leaves me wanting more at the end is that we probably should have gotten a little bit more backstory about the player than what we actually got. It was very like on the surface where you could have probably like gotten away without having to do the conversations with the mom when even there was like only two of them. But like, I don't know, like what actually happened with the mother. Because I feel like most movies would have done that, like probably started off the movie with like, oh, here's this serious thing that this is what spiraled him downward. Or like,
years later,
you know, or we get the scene with the coach where like the accident he talked about. But I don't know if that's really even a flaw. If it felt like it left me wanting more. So
that's a good thing.
I'm not a sports person, and for me to enjoy this, I feel like is kind of a lot to say already. I would recommend it. It's good. It's not very cliche. Like, again, there was what I think my favorite part of the movie, and it's such a minor thing, but it felt like it was like it was a moment where it could have gone, oh, here's the big moment from the coach. But no, it was the training montage that happened where he was going, like, they started his training going up the hill, right, running and then doing dribbling, all that stuff. Oh, and spoilers, people, by the way, spoilers. We're
Spoilers!
Yeah,
terrible at
spoilers.
spoilers.
Spoilers!
They're doing his training montage, and he starts to fail. He starts to fuck up, and he starts to like lose his shit. And it's like at that point, I think a typical movie would have been like, okay, here's this dramatic, conversation between the coach and the player, and then next day, like, what are you gonna do? No, they continued his training montage and just kind of like started showing his momentum, his like kind of upbringing, his putting his motivation into it. And I like that whole transition. I don't even know how long it felt, kind of long, but I didn't hate it. So that's all I got to say about the movie. It's really good. I recommend it. Green card. Whoever wants to go next.
Ham.
Yeah, what he said. Yeah, the movie does seem a little somber. It's not very. I guess you were saying the usual. Hey, we can do this. Hey, we can do this. It's more like, hey, we gotta do it, man, or else we're gonna fucking die. Something like that. And also it was interesting that he, all the heroes, whatever, where it's, you like to be, oh no, I think it was fast enough. I hate when they drag that shit.
Yeah.
And luckily I thought it was good pacing. Yeah, like, I wanted more. I wasn't bored at any point watching everything. I thought Adam Sandler did a good. I don't know if Bo is a real basketball player or not. I don't know if he's just an actor. I don't know. He looked like it could have been editing, but looked like he did very well in both parts of acting and portraying a NBA's player. Anything. Yeah, no. I like Sal said, I can't really find anything wrong with this movie. Yeah, I wonder what the budget is, and yeah, that's all.
Let's just say Ham's really biased because there was some alcohol in this movie.
Whoa.
Yeah.
He was at a bar like 3 times. All right.
He was drunk.
Like, open up the mini bar.
Ham saw those Pringles. He was like, "This is a green card for me."
I don't like orange Pringles.
All right, Mike.
Like I mentioned, this is a green card for me, and I am a big fan of sports, unlike these two. And I love sports movies. Of course, my favorite sports movie of all time, of course, is
Like
Rocky. Like Mike, sure, why not? Warriors, Invincible.
Like Mike.
Like Mike too. Yeah, that's a great movie.
Dodgeball?
Go card.
Dodgeball.
Dodgeball. Oh, phenomenal sports movie right there.
That's
Great movie.
You're fast.
What I liked about this movie a lot was that it was different from all the other type of sports movies.
Balls of
Oh my god.
Oh,
so what?
No, go on.
All right. So I was saying this movie did something completely different that any other sports movies have done. Is that they don't focus on the player, they focus on the coach itself, where you see the coach point of view. Of course, you do see, like, the player, he's going through some stuff in his mind, and he's going through a hard time in his life and everything. And I feel like they've done that formula so many times. And I'm glad that they didn't repeat the same formula, and they focus on the scout, on the coach himself, and how he's trying to survive, and how he's trying to make a legacy off of a player, and how he's trying to motivate him, and how he's carrying him on his back to be successful. And that's what I really liked this movie. The pacing's great. Wasn't bored at all, just like how these guys mentioned. I loved all the cameos of all the basketball players that were there. I like, all the competitions. And Adam Sandler was really great in this movie, and I really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot, for sure. It's a different type of sports movie that I highly recommend. It's on Netflix. Watch it, and hopefully you guys have a good time.
Yeah, because I don't think I saw a score the entire game.
No. I don't think so. Even they were doing the what is it? The combine at
No.
the
They were
end.
doing the combine. This movie kind of reminded me of if you guys remember Coach Carter.
No, I recall that's Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson. Yes, yes.
I know of it. I just never seen the movie.
I
Now.
don't know.
Oh, okay. That movie, it's on the coach point of view, but it's like split with the coach point of view and the player's point of view.
Okay.
But this movie just focused on just a little bit more on the coach point of view, and I actually did like that a lot. And I would love to see if Adam Sandler will make a soccer movie because he mentioned that he hates soccer. But I will actually would like to see if he actually does a serious sports movie.
I don't know in real life. That was in the movie where he
Yeah,
talks
I
about
know.
soccer. I don't believe.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
All right.
soccer is phenomenal.
Questions. Number one, because I don't know
Mhm.
sports. All that shit, like real, like the way they scout for players and the way that they pull them at the end. Like, is that
Yes, that's real.
the combine is an actual thing?
Yes, the combine is an actual thing for all sports.
And then the thing that he was invited to, which was kind of like hush hush on the down low, whatever, is that?
Oh, I don't know. It's hush hush. It might be.
What's the secret?
It's a secret.
if
I
they-
won't be surprised. I won't be surprised if all players do have a secret, like play game that they did, and all the offices are there just to watch them. No media, no bullshit, just there. I won't be surprised.
Yeah, but also this was a little bit different considering that most of the things you see about basketball on TV is the draft, and those are usually most of the college kids getting into NBA.
That's what I was, because I thought I was, because I was thinking like, man, do these guys scouts actually travel all over the fucking world to find players for the U.S. teams? Like,
Yeah, there's multiple scouts, not just one.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
well, then that's my second question: how much fucking money does he get paid if he was paying for all that shit for him?
I mean, if he was doing it for a while, he should have some money.
Yeah, I think the average scout right now, I could pull it up. What's the average salary real quick? Hold on, give me a second.
Not as much.
Not as much as I think. Yeah, it's not as much as players, but it's a good amount to. Hold on.
That's a shitload of money. You know, I was feeling it with the $40 Pringles. I was right there with them. I was like, yeah, you better eat the fucking
Was it
Pringles.
40?
That's he exaggerated the 40, I'm sure.
Just one bite. That's what I say. Just one drink.
Mike's not.
Mike, come
Mike's-
on, man. Do something.
Holy shit!
Well, we're just gonna assume they make a shit ton of money because there's like
$70,000 a year.
that's not a lot of money.
That's not a lot of money.
No, that's not a lot of money. If he was able to pay for the hotel shit and like to fly out his daughter and his mom, and to like just like no, that's not a lot of money. He has to have been making more money than that.
The highest for a scout is $98,000.
Yeah, this is like some next level scouting that he's doing. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, 3 green cards for Adam Sandler and Hustle, and we recommend you go watch that movie. Next, this might be our shortest episode yet. Next up, we got Lightyear, not Buzz Lightyear, just Lightyear.
Is it? Is it just like?
Well, that's the movie title. Yeah, it's just Lightyear. They couldn't afford the word Buzz.
Yeah, too much money.
All right,
not sponsored.
Lightyear. Legendary space ranger Buzz Lightyear embarks on an intergalactic adventure alongside ambitious recruits Izzy, Mo, Darby, robot companion Socks. If you took out that last part, I feel like you would just describe any Buzz Lightyear thing. The cartoon, him and
just like
yeah.
Let's see. Voice casting wise, Chris Evans is Buzz Lightyear, which people I don't know ups and arms about. Which I don't really care. Like it's not the toy version, so like who gives a fuck? Taika Waititi,
of course,
as Mo. You got James Brolin as Zurg.
Mm-hmm.
Kiki Palmer as Izzy. Peter Son as Socks. Efren Ramirez as Diaz.
Sure.
And Dale Souls as Darby Steele.
Sure.
Darby is the old lady, right? Yeah.
I love her.
I bet you do. I don't know what that means, but sure. All right. IMDb gives it a 5.2 out of 10.
Ooh.
Rotten Tomatoes, 76%.
Ooh, wait, what?
Now, in the midst of writing his invitations, Ham got buzzed himself.
I fucking hate you.
Completely forgot to send them out, which is why only 50% like this movie.
I sent them out. I just forgot to put some stamps. I forgot to get stamps.
They returned to sender. You didn't think about like, oh, what are all these envelopes coming back here?
They never came back. I don't know. They haven't got a day or two. I got to track it.
I wasn't sure if Mike was mad that I made a better joke than he did.
Oh yeah.
No, fuck you.
All right. It's a kids movie. All right. Same process. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we need to bring up about this other than the Tim Allen thing, which Mike, did you care about that? Whether this was a Tim Allen voice thing or not?
No, I didn't care because even in the cartoon version, it wasn't Tim Allen.
So,
the animated Disney series.
Oh, more than I did.
I did watch a bunch, but I don't remember. It was on.
I remember some parts of it, but I didn't care. If anything, I think it was great casting.
So the two things that I've seen thrown around, it's like people are hating that it's not Tim Allen because he is a Republican and they feel like they did him dirty.
Okay.
And then second one is that little maybe lesbian kiss that people were.
Oh yeah, which was such a dumb thing.
It was like
it's such a stupid shit.
Whatever.
But I do want to bring up, how'd she have that kid? I mean, it's future science shit, so I don't know.
Surrogation. Surrogates. I don't know.
Surrogates, turkey plunge. Like, I don't know.
What the hell?
Who's the father?
But
yeah.
Oh, you think it could be that wait, was that her son as the new commander?
I thought so at first, but no, it's a different guy.
So he could be the father.
That's weird.
Sure.
Maybe for the sequel. Okay. Cards going around first, and then what we like to dislike. Mike, what is your card for Lightyear?
This is going to be a green card. I couldn't think of a joke.
Not like you had any. Ham?
I was waiting for a card, but I'm giving this a yellow.
Okay. I see your yellow. And I see that the can over there was kind of yellowish orange.
It's in my hand. Oh, it's orange.
And then I raise you a...
Oh, no.
Hey, 2 greens, 1 yellow. Fuck you.
Green. I don't know which thing I want to address. I'll talk about just the simple stuff. It's a fun, entertaining, like sci-fi like flick, animated flick. Like, I thought the suits looked cool. The toy compared to like what the actual version like, I felt like that was an appropriate thing. Like if you look at the toys out there, like they're not really one-to-one what you see in the movies. They're kind of a little bit scaled down. So I don't know. The whole toy production sense to me. The ship was cool. I felt like they took every single Buzz Lightyear moment from the Toy Story movies and just threw it into this and was like, yep, this is the movie.
Is that a good thing?
Well, I mean, like, what else do you expect? Because this is the movie that Andy watched that made him like Buzz Lightyear. Yeah. And you got to think, like, when Ham and Rex were playing the game, remember they were traveling through, they had to go and, like, fight Zurg to get the battery, which in here, it was the fuel cell, and then he did the backflip thing, shot them with the laser. I was like, this is literally straight from the old Toy Story movies. Like, it was so much fun. The dialogue, just specific awkward, like, moments, how he reacts to things. Like, it just felt like an appropriate, like, dead-on Buzz Lightyear movie. I thought Socks was going to be this stupid, like, cheap little, like, throwaway gimmick, kind of like the child from Mandalorian. It's like, oh, we got to have merchandise.
Oh,
here's your merchandise.
They're gonna make some money.
But I grew to love Socks. I was like, this guy's hilarious. Like, my favorite moment, I think what won him over for me was the dart. The first time he
no, the second time. The first time, yeah, the first time.
The first time, it was like, Buzz like, what's that for me? I gave you 5 minutes. I'm like, oh shit, all right, go. Spoilers again. Fuck this up so many times. Spoilers. Yeah, the sci-fi part of it was kind of tropey. I was not expecting the reveal of Zurg to be exactly him, but I liked the joke that he threw. He was like, Dad, And I'm like, come on, think about it. In Toy Story 2, right? That was him. He
Mhm.
was like, I am your father. I'm like, so good. It was so
They
well
just ripped
written.
off from Star.
I think every sci-fi movie you could say from like, ripped off from some other sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
But there are some movies that do it better than others. And I feel like for an animated movie, this was just fun to watch. Now, the problem, which I can see maybe why some people might get ups and arms about this, and there are some complaints about this, is the fact that this is not as like feely touchy as all other Pixar movies. This does not really pull you at the heartstrings. There are a couple there are a couple of moments in the movie where it tries to like hit with the emotions, but it wasn't the whole focus of the movie. Whereas suppose you got something like Soul or Up, like those are like hard hitting throughout the entire thing. That theme is like of death, kind of going through pain and everything is throughout the entire film. But for Lightyear, it's not. Like, yeah, the message, I mean, depending on how you want to interpret the message of like, not letting your mistakes own you and kind of like looking past them, but also don't think of them as like complete failures, because who knows what that may lead to. Like, I thought it was good. Didn't like nail it like, oh my gosh, I'm bawling in tears, but it was nice and it was fun, and it was just like, this was cool to watch, and my kids loved it. I will say that gosh, I was gonna touch on I completely forgot what I was gonna say, because I thought about it like just 2 sentences ago. I remember now. Pixar, I feel like, doesn't always have to come out with a hard, feely, touchy movie.
I don't think so.
Like, the best other example, and other, I know a lot of people hate this, Cars 2. Cars 2 is nowhere near on a Pixar level movie, but the visuals are still there. It was fun to watch, especially if you like the car universe, and that's a very few people. But it was just, again, it was entertaining to watch, and that's okay. I don't think like just because they have this high reputation of always like mostly coming out these movies, I think they're allowed to just afford themselves, hey, I just want to do this movie. Whether people think this was like a big marketing scam or whatever, I don't care. I think they still did a great job. And so I enjoyed every part of it. Does it need a sequel? I don't think it does. Does it set itself up for a sequel? Kind of. But I mean, to each his own. Who knows what they're going to do with this movie afterwards. All right, Ham.
Yep, that's me.
It's because there was no alcohol in this movie.
What was that?
There was
better not see Ham.
Oh my god.
All right. So for me, when it hits, and then it misses, then it hits, then misses. It's almost a back and forth. Might get 2 double hits, but then it gets 2 double misses. It's like that game at Disney, you know. Yeah, you got it. What am I gonna start with? Which one am I gonna start with? This movie was called what? Buzz Lightyear Lost in Space? Is that what it is? Because it's exactly, the ending is exactly like Lost in Space, the movie, with fucking that guy from Friends, Matthew Blanc or whatever. Matt LeBlanc. It really is. So it reveals that they go to the future and it's future self trying to stop everything. Nah. Fucking hate that shit. And this tries to pull that off almost directly. Some of the characters too are misses and hits. I think Socks was probably one of the better characters, if not the best.
Like, what would have made this movie better for you?
Not a cliche fucking time dilation, and then it's like, oh, that's myself. That's the person who's the bad guy, and then we gotta fix it somehow.
You didn't.
What do you like to see if Zerd was like a what do you like to see Zerd into almost like a Ultron, like somebody created him for like some type of reason and he went rogue?
Well, no, in the animated series,
would that mean better for you?
No. He's like Emperor Zurg. He's a ruler. He's like a conqueror,
which is still doable.
Yeah, but I just hated the. What was it? There's one more thing that I did not like, and I forget what it is.
Anything about the team?
I didn't like any of them.
Really? Not even Dog?
Really?
Person?
Cool. They're like cool, and it's like an old person that those bets. I don't know the formula thing. I'm trying to find the best stuff in this movie. Literally in Lost in Space, they get crash landed.
It's hard to convince this is a yellow for you.
There, like I said, it hits and misses, hits and misses. Oh yeah, and the 3 ending thing. I thought these guys were fucking around with me. Where I'm like,
there's 3 post-credit scenes.
There's one right after credits.
Animated credits.
Animated credit scene. Then a credit scene, the end credit scene. Then the Disney logo. That means get the fuck out. And then one other scene. And the first 2 scenes are fucking garbage, I think. I don't know, the second one was a little funny because he kept going. The first one, garbage. And the last one just saying, hey, there might be a sequel, but probably not because we're probably not going to make that much money because this movie's not that great. So I would never watch this again. Never. No.
And you give it a yellow?
I'm giving it a yellow.
I'm changing it to red for you.
I know. I was gonna say I'm gonna put it down in the books as red for you.
Maybe because
I'm gonna put it as red. Yeah, put it in the books as red. This is not a yellow for him.
I like.
And then towards the end of this year, he's like, "Yeah, I really did like Lightyear."
We'll see. I might have to rewatch it just to give it a red.
It's like fucking Cherry, how he gave it a red and then out of nowhere. Oh yeah, I like Cherry.
I thought about it. All right, I thought about it. Yeah, I think some stuff was good, and some stuff was mediocre, and a couple things were bad, and that's why I probably don't give it a red.
What was your favorite part of the movie?
When Buzz Lightyear died.
He did it, but
favorite part. Next.
Red. It's a red card for him. I don't care what he says.
Yeah, put it in the books as red for him.
All right, Mike.
So I'm not like him. I really did love this movie a lot. I left out of this movie with a smile on my face. I'm a huge Toy Story fan. Buzz is not my favorite character, but he is one of the main characters that everybody grew up watching. Everybody knows who Buzz Lightyear is. My favorite character is Rex, of course. I would have liked a little cameo. Just saying. But I just loved everything about this movie. I thought it was just fun, enjoyable. I'm with Sal. Pixar doesn't always have to make like a meaningful message movie, even though almost all their movies are like that. And so far, all their movies are great and everything. I have not seen Cars 2 or 3, only seen the first Cars. But I just don't understand what people see what's wrong with this. I don't understand him. I don't understand what's wrong with this movie at all. In their point of view,
that's an ongoing issue outside of this movie.
This is an ongoing issue, and the whole kissing scene, like that was one of the biggest like articles that I like popped up on my feed, and it's not that big of a deal. That's fucking normal. The fuck, like, you know, like how she gets pregnant. It's normal.
Because I actually had to think about this. First of all, people do, and I'm not saying that this is right or justified in any way, but you got to understand that it was banned in some countries where they don't, promote this. It is their culture, it is their religion, and to kind of go against that, I mean, who are we to say? But I mean, I don't know what the other laws and policies are around that. Now, in another instance too, whether it's banned or not, I mean, even if in the US, I'm sure you'll find people that are like, oh, I don't want people to watch this, whatever. I did actually I came across like a little moment with my daughter because she even questions like, is she supposed to be a boy or a girl? And then we said, well, she's a girl. And I'm like, oh, and then she like looked confused. And I'm like, she never asked anymore after that. I think, I don't even know if she even registered anymore after. I think she just didn't care after that. Then not that we confirmed that. But I don't know if parents that are open to that kind of thing are ready to have that conversation with their kids, especially at young
right.
I don't want to do more work.
For me, like I would have, like if she would have kept asking more after the movie, me and my girlfriend would have talked to her about it. But
she asked during the movie.
It was during it, yeah, because she was she was turning her head over to Grace and asking her like, oh, is she a man or a girl? We said girl, and I think she does question something about the baby, but nothing
I
more
would
after
too.
that. But I mean, like, it's just kind of like a touchy gray area for a lot of people. Even if
Yeah.
people are open to it, it's like, how do you have that conversation with that child, like with your child, so early, so young? At least in my sake, like, not that I'm not against it. Again, I'm not saying that, but I also don't want to be completely closed off to the people who are kind of iffy about it, not in a negative sense, but in the like, how do I prepare for this kind of sense?
Right. I mean, in that point of view that you just described, like that's it makes a lot of sense. I understand. Like, can kids really understand of that? You know, but I don't know. It's weird. It's a very touchy, sensitive topic for everybody. You know.
as as a kid, I wouldn't understand the idea of the time dilation. That's what I'd be like. The fuck's going on?
Yeah, exactly. But regardless, though, loved all the characters. I loved Chris Evans as the voice actor of Buzz. I liked everybody else. I think that they did a phenomenal job. I think the jokes were awesome. Socks definitely like
Oh, I thought the
Socks
jokes
was
were
good.
good.
Not a front.
Socks.
Socks
No,
was
no, Socks was good.
yeah.
Socks was great. He was.
The only thing I'll agree upon that was
Socks is
good.
like the MVP of
Yes,
the movie.
exactly.
He's definitely one of the like funniest characters in the movie, and I thought it was great. I will. Okay, I think I might be the only one here with Zerg. It threw me off that it was his future self. I actually was like, wait, this is different. I don't know if I really agree with this. And then like the motive of like he wants to go back in time to stop like his mistakes and everything like that, and erase everybody in the future and stuff like that. And then Buzz was like, no, like let the present be the present. That's fine. And a big fight and whatever. I feel like it could have been a little bit more dialogue on on the villain side and the hero.
Also, that throwaway line where he's like, "Yeah, the robots just don't know how to say Buzz," and I'm like,
I thought it was great. But
I will say, like, just like one thing that did come up in my mind when I was watching this movie, and this goes into a whole deep conversation, which is again why the only time travel movie for me is Back to the Future. But it seemed weird that he was trying to kill his younger self. If he did that, wouldn't that fuck up everything?
not if he wounded him and he went back in time.
But he was straight out like ready to obliterate him.
at the end, but I have to think about that
Yeah.
yellow as well.
Yeah, now that you thought about it, that's kind of stupid. I don't think that it is kind of stupid, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if I'm on board with future self versus like present self. Like,
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I wish it was something else. Like I mentioned, like maybe like somebody created Zerg to become like this, you know, like watch over planets and then went rogue and try to like control every other universe and like make it simple. And because I think like this movie was already like fine and good and fun already, and you could have done the same thing with the villain and then a great battle. I think the battle was great though in the end though.
Also, the other throwaway line was like, "Yeah, I went so far in the future, I found this spaceship." I'm like, "What?"
Sequel setup.
Yeah, sequel setup. Yeah.
Sequel setup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Yeah. But
They are. I think they will make a sequel.
we'll see what numbers come. We'll see.
you know what would be awesome, and I'm gonna say this. It'll be awesome if they made a sequel, but in the beginning of the movie, we see Andy
Yeah, I was
going to the movie theaters to see this movie.
I thought they were gonna do that in this movie.
Yeah,
when
I
they
thought so as
when they
well.
open it up, I was like, oh, are we gonna see him like going into the theater with his toys? Like, because I could have sworn I saw that picture too somewhere online, and I was like, oh, that's what we're gonna get. But no, not a single instance of Andy. But again, I mean, it's supposed to be just focused on Lightyear, right? They don't want to give people to speculate more about Toy Story and be like, oh, is there gonna be a Toy Story 5? Is there gonna be a Toy Story 6, 7? Like, and also to be clear, like this was a cool origin story, at least in my case. This was a cool origin story for Buzz Lightyear. I don't think every single toy should get an origin story, but if they decide to give origin stories
Woody.
to those toys, I would say just do them as shorts.
No, Woody already has his origin story in the Toy Story.
Yeah, Toy Story 2 was basically his origin story.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
I would like if you want to see like Rex, Ham, Mr. Potato Head, Slinky, like just do that shorts, like little Disney Plus shorts. Don't.
Yeah.
I don't think there's really much you could really do big like movie unless you try to force them all in one movie, and then I just feel like that would be a mess.
I would say movie The Origin of Forky. There you go.
Well, there is a toy that's getting their there is a toy that's getting their live action. You know, that's in Toy Story.
What?
Barbie and Ken.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to add, Mike?
Other than that, this movie was great. I enjoyed it. I loved it. I highly recommend to go see this movie. If you don't want to go see it, more likely it's definitely going to be on Disney Plus. But I will definitely suggest to go watch it and hopefully you have a good time. You know.
You're a big Toy Story. I know you like Toy Story,
Yeah.
But like, are you? Because I don't know. Like, what helped me? I think what made this a step up above like all other sci-fi tropes is that because it is a like copy of here's what we've done with Buzz Lightyear in all of these movies and just threw them here like as an actual representation. I think one of my favorite scenes, not the favorite scene, but one of my favorite scenes again when he goes to Zurg to steal the fuel cell. And it's literally that game that Ham and Rex were playing. Like, you know, jump over here, do a backflip and shoot him. Like, that was so much fun to watch. Because, like, throughout the entire movie.
Wasn't that in the second movie?
Second one, sorry. Yeah, didn't I say that?
I don't know. I'm just saying if this was the second movie.
But anyway, like, it's still, like, when I was watching this movie, I had such a nostalgia trip of, like, oh, that was from the first Toy Story.
Yeah,
that's from the third Toy Story. That's from the second Toy Story. Like, it was fun like going back to those callbacks and I'm like this was cool, this was well written to kind of
first like 5 minutes or whatever.
The lightsabers,
no, the callbacks.
I'm gonna turn evil the whole time.
That's what I thought too at first because like what's his name again, is there a Z in that
yeah
name?
I was like I thought it was the rookie and then for a second I thought maybe it was the new commander guy.
We don't really get any information on the son, right, of Buzz partner's son. Like
he might have passed away. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, nothing about that. That wasn't relevant to the story, so I don't think there was anything for them to expand on in there.
Okay.
All right. Well, 2 green cards and an opinion who's really unsure about life.
Yeah, it's a red card. I'm giving that a red.
And we don't know where that card is.
You know when I go back and swing around the sun.
Yeah, I'm on the same page with Mike. Go check it out in theaters, and I'm glad they didn't do this in Disney Plus because I don't think I would have appreciated it as much if it was in Disney Plus. I think this
probably would appreciate it more. I don't
know. For you, but I don't know. I enjoyed watching an animated sci-fi flick on the big screen, and it was more like realism animated, not like cartoony, like vibrant colors. Like everything looked like it was an act, like not a movie, like what it was supposed to be in real life.
So I watched Hustle on my phone.
That's but what visuals do you need there? Like,
well, you hustle your account. I give up on the
joke. And it was on my phone.
But you also gave Cherry a red card.
Yeah.
And you like Becky.
Wow, that's your fault,
yeah.
You guys gotta watch it again.
And you like Pig.
Speaking of, though, we'll wrap this up here in just a second with some sci-fi stuff. So go check out Lightyear. Xbox Bethesda Showcase. Not much to say about the in general showcase. I thought it was just solid. Nothing really big, outstanding popped out except for the very last thing, which was the Starfield game, which is, from what I heard from a lot of people, and Ham can attest to this because he's like Bethesda fanboy over here. It plays very much just like any other Bethesda game. Kind of, a lot of people were comparing it to. Well, I'm not going to go to the No Man's Sky route. I don't want to go down. I don't want to go down a conversation. I'm worried. But there's the gameplay, the feel of it, the first-person shooter mode of it, the storyline. People are like, "Oh, it just seems like another Fallout 4 kind of thing, whatever." But the customization is what won me over. Because like it was not like the person characters customization, that's also really, really cool. But what sold me was the ship customization and the colors and the way you can attach the things to the ship. And then when they talked about the planets, I was like, God damn, there's gonna be a lot of traveling to do. However, just to be clear too, not to get people like hyped up for like the 1,000 planets that you can explore. A lot of that shit, and he said it straightforward. So a lot of that shit, there's not going to be anything for you to do.
Mining, maybe.
Yeah, for resources at most, maybe. Mining. So I don't know. I think it looks really cool. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna actually play it and see. I don't know. See if it grasps my interest.
Was there Xbox Access, whatever?
I think everything was Games Pass.
Yeah. They did that. Whatever vampire game is also
Redfall.
Bethesda, I believe.
Arcane Studios under the umbrella of Bethesda.
And that looks really good too. I can't wait to play that. I thought it was already out, but next year. And Grounded, also Obsidian, the original Fallout creators. Grounded, that should be done next year.
So on a slight bit of a tangent here, because people are kind of bitching about this showcase, saying that it was dumb, that it was boring, blah blah blah. Like, not every single presentation always has to come out with some like big main title. Like,
also this wasn't E3, right?
No, but what I was trying to get at, like, there was no Halo announcement, there was no Fable announcement, there was no Forza, besides Forza Motorsport, there was no Gears of War announcement. So a lot of like your main Microsoft Studio titles weren't announced here. But what they made,
they didn't talk about Forza
Motorsport. Then they did the DLC for Hot Wheels. But I mean, but what I'm trying to get at is that, so a lot of people are complaining like, oh, they didn't show these, there was no point to the showcase, which, first of all, that's a bit like a slap to the face of the indie developers that were presented in the showcase, which some of those indie games look pretty cool. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to check that out. It's on Games Pass. Why not? But second, like, they made it very clear at the beginning of the showcase, these are games that are coming out in the next 12 months. There was no games that were like, oh, in 2024 or in 2025. Like from now until the next showcase that we show next year, you are going to be able to play all these games, which I really appreciated, because it's like, why show me something 3 years out? I get it. If you want to show another Fable, if you want to show another Fable trailer, it would have been CGI and it would have been like 2024 at the earliest. What does that mean for me? Like, we know it's announced. Okay, great. They're working on it. Fine. Don't show me anything until you're ready to show me something. So I don't know. People, at the risk of getting Mike in on this conversation, PlayStation State of Play, I was bored with it. I was like, okay, another Resident.
I watched it.
It was another Resident Evil thing. Okay, that's not surprising. What was it, Capcom Street Fighter thing? Okay, we knew that was gonna.
Remember that?
And then a bunch of VR games, which again, VR is not very common. Not everyone has VR. It's still like a very niche like group. So
I had it for a second.
And so now I'm just waiting to see what Nintendo. I heard Nintendo's supposed to do a direct sometime next week, I think. So we'll see what they bring out. But I don't know. People clamor on PlayStation for all their great games, but all we're seeing are either sequels or remakes. Because if you want to throw in The Last of Us Part 1, you're doing a remake of a remastered, which was a remake already. Like
GTA 5, baby.
I'm like, I like, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. Like, the visuals to it, amazing what they're doing with it. But is it really necessary when you could have just put all that effort into just making a new Last of Us?
I'm actually more surprised that they are still supporting their VR. I didn't think people were, like you were saying. I thought it was a little niche community, but I mean, if they're throwing out more games, maybe people are playing.
I don't know where they're getting this money from, because all of mine is going to gas prices. So
that's why you buy VR. You stay home.
But I don't know. I just feel like the people bitching about the Xbox showcase, not saying it was a stellar showcase, because I just thought it was an okay showcase. It was solid. I just think, did it even bother playing indie games? And I like, and this was going to be a headline that I don't know if we brought up or talked about. Someone, I think some sort of like PlayStation fan account was bashing Games Pass or whatever. And then Games Pass, the actual official Games Pass account, retorted back and saying, so show me one of those stupid things like, show me you only play AAA games by without telling me you only play AAA games. And it's like, yeah, like, be open-minded, like, play other games. Like, I'm in the midst of like 3-4 different games right now, all on Games Pass, and they're all indie games, and I'm like, I'm enjoying every single one of them. So Pedestrian, by the way, fun puzzle game. I'm only like literally 10 minutes in, but I'm getting a kick out of trying to find all the trying to solve this mapping shit. Check it out. It's a very short game.
I like Grounded.
And
is that technically AAA? What is this, Grounded?
I think it's kind of indie-ish. Yeah.
I
don't know. I don't know who makes it. There you go. But yeah, that's all we're gonna say about it. I don't know if Mike wants to interject with any video game stuff.
About the
I mean, I could say about the PlayStation thing. The only thing I'm interested in is just Resident Evil and Street Fighter. I didn't see Xbox, but I did see StarCraft or whatever that game is called.
Ooh, that's a completely different game.
I mean, not StarCraft. Sorry, whatever that Bethesda game is called.
Starfield.
Starfield. My bad, Starfield. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Target. No.
It's just like what you guys said. I'm trying to compare it to No Man's Sky, but I don't have really high hopes for the game. I don't know.
I am
cautiously optimistic.
I'm like,
I mean, you like Fallout 76. I'm sure you'll like anything.
A year and a half
Yeah.
They made it.
I just gotta be honest. I'm not really big on Bethesda's games. I don't really. I mean, the only game that I really did like, I'm trying to think. It's just Wolfenstein, and then and Doom. They made Doom, right? Yeah. So
first Bethesda game I played.
Yeah. It's just I'm not really interested in any of the their style of RPGs, and then I feel like this game is they're trying to make you excited for this game, and they're trying to say that it's super big and everything, and I just feel like it's going to be just like how No Man's Sky is, a complete bore fest of a video game that comes short.
Literally lied. Like it was.
Is there a story to No Man's Sky?
Not really.
Because I would say that's what separates this from No Man's Sky is that Bethesda, as far as I know, is also good in storytelling. Yes. And so for them to implement a story, like a good foundation, like I like the idea of factions. I think I'm always a sucker for factions. Being able to choose like which path you want to take and whatnot. So I feel like that is what's gonna that's what makes it a little bit more exciting than just being like, oh, this is another No Man's Sky. Like, no, this is probably what No Man's Sky should have done. But they up and now they stepped in and started doing this.
A lot of people have said that they've fixed No Man's Sky eventually till now, which that is the new way of gaming some people. But the original No Man's Sky, it was a hinted story. It was more of a like Minecraft and trying to just build stuff and get your ship upgraded and then just fly to different galaxies and eventually getting to the main black hole, which you get rewarded. Your reward is shit. It is crap. So, and they lied all about that multiplayer. It took, I don't know how many years for that multiplayer to kick in, and it said it was supposed to be a day one. So there's that. The one thing I liked, that I mostly liked about No Man's Sky was that you would visit these obelisks and stuff and start learning words so you can communicate to different species.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So that was the only one thing I liked. And yeah.
All right. Well, last minute thing, 1 minute review, video game review from me, because I haven't talked about video games really in a very long time. Shredder's Revenge, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, game of the year. Gold card. That's it. That's the only game that you need to play this year. If you are an obsessed Ninja Turtles fan, you have no reason to not play this game. You just have to play it. And it's a perfect callback to just every single game that you've played and every single villain of Ninja Turtles. Perfect game. 10 out of 10 out of 10 out of 10 out of 2.
Fallout 76 new DLC.
No.
Pit, Gold card, 10 out of 10 out of 10 out of 10 out of 10.
No. Play Shredder's Revenge. We need to play Turtles.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Such a good game.
There's so many moves.
You need a few of them. All right, Mike, do that thing you're supposed to do 5 minutes ago.
Oh, fuck. Hey guys, follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram on WRMA Cast, and write us an email, on drunkcop.ateacher@gmail.com, and Ham will write to you about all the times that he has played No Man's Sky and give you a full depth of the story.
Yeah, we'll try to remember.
All right. Well, we got Obi-Wan. Next time
finishes next week.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan. We have Obi-Wan, and then we have to discuss if we're watching Elvis or Black Phone.
Wait, what?
Black Phone.
Can we just leave it as Obi-Wan?
I mean, I'm not gonna go see Elvis this week.
I have no desire to see the other two.
Elvis, Black Phone looks legit. Elvis looks like shit. Yeah.
You look like shit, and your review is shit.
Doesn't matter. You got me.
I don't know. Obi-Wan at the very least would be what we talked about, at least from the three of us. If you guys want to talk about one of the other two, that's up to you. I mean, I have no desire. Actually, no.
Black Phone.
I have no desire to watch either of these movies. I just wasn't sure about time. If I was going to set aside time to watch any one of these movies.
Black Phone looks legit.
So, Obi-Wan it is, at least for next time.
Okay.
All right. Without further ado, any closing words, gentlemen?
Infinity and beyond.
Pull that shit. Why?
Watch Black Phone, Sal.
But there's a snake in my boob.